Hi guys, welcome back to your channel Relationship Anthology. This is your narrator John and I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Before moving further, I would request you all to subscribe to the channel to keep yourself updated for the latest content. This would help us greatly. Today's story is an instant revenge story, where OP's wife cheated on him with a guy she met at a bar and then immediately got herpes and now her life is over. Now, let's get into the story.
I'm posting my story today because over the past year and a half I have been a lurker on here and have read many of other people's stories. I'm trying to get some sort of insight or clarity that would help me in my situation. There are a lot of heartbreaking stories on here but also some gems. I hope you can take something away from my story or that it can give you some sort of clarity on your journey through whatever it is you're going through. Back in 2018 at the end of July, my wife left for a quick work trip on a Thursday and flew home Saturday morning. That evening my wife and I went to my stepdad's birthday dinner and nothing seemed off or anything. Totally normal Sunday. We had our typical routine, grocery shopping, errands and got ready for the work week. The following Monday when the work week started, everything seemed normal and we did our usual texting throughout the day. But on my way home from work she texted me saying I think I have a yeast infection and I'm going to get it checked out. I made a joke saying hopefully it's not an STD, lol. She lolled back and that was that. A few hours later before I had seen her she texted me and said your comment earlier about it being an STD was weird. You don't think I'm cheating on you, do you? I kind of laughed and texted back no, lol, but something about that comment for her to say that did put me off a little thinking. Nothing of it. I went back to whatever I was doing. Looking back this was red flag. Number 1, 2 days went by and she said that it got worse and that she was going back in. I thought to myself wow I feel bad for her because I know she has had something like this mildly before but never this bad. When she came home from the doctor for the second time, she said she now has thrush and a severe yeast infection. I remember thinking to myself what thrush is and she explained to me how it's a throat infection. I remember joking with her saying well, if you're sick stay away from me because I don't want to get sick and I'm so glad I did stay away. Looking back all of this was red flag. Number 2 for the next couple of days and into the weekend she was pretty much bedridden. She called in sick to work and did some work things from home that she could. I remember not getting too close to her those handful of days and just kind of looking at her while she was either in bed or on the couch and just feeling bad. She was clearly sick and there really wasn't anything I could do. The following week, as she started to feel better, that's when I noticed something was going on with her. One day, I came home from work and she was crying on the couch. I asked her what was wrong and she said that she was going to start seeing a counselor. I was a bit puzzled but I said okay and asked if I was going to go to or if I needed to not. She said no and that she just hasn't been feeling herself and needed to talk to someone. I said okay. Red flag number 3 a few days later, I get out of the shower and she is sitting on the bed crying again. I asked what's going on and she said to me is this as good as it gets? Is this what we want? Is this what you want? Is this what I want? Is there anything more to life than this? I remember being a little caught off guard because it took a second to register what she was asking. I didn't really know what to say and I asked her what do you mean? She just responded with a never mind and I can't recount what happened after that. Then on August 14th at 9 p.m. we are getting in bed and she starts crying again. I asked her what's the matter and she starts crying even harder. I told her I know something has been going on these last couple of weeks and whatever it is I just want you to know I love you and whatever it is we will work through it. She said I can't tell you, if I tell you, you won't want to work it out. It was at that moment I started to feel the butterflies and adrenaline or whatever you want to call it in my stomach and I said please tell me. Then she hit me with it. I had a one-night stand. It was in that moment all the red flags, all the little things that were going on in those previous weeks all came together like one big puzzle. Here's what happened. When she was through with work for the day, she went to a bar to have a drink before going back to her hotel. She sent me a picture of the beer she was drinking and I said the nightly love you good night. While she was at the bar, she met a guy with the same name as me. She ended up talking to him all night and having a few more drinks and they left the bar. At about 2 in the morning, they went back to his house where she then performed intimation and then they had S3X without a condom. Turns out he had herpes and ended up giving it to her and that yeast infection and thrush in her throat was actually the herpes outbreak. I remember feeling absolutely heartbroken, devastated, and shocked and in disbelief when she told me everything that had happened. I was pretty messed up for a few months following discovery date, so much that I had to get on meds for a while to get me straight. I knew something was physically wrong with me because I felt like total crap all the time and turns out I had a blood pressure of 149/127. No wonder I felt like crap. I would say we had a good marriage. We were everyone's favorite couple. My dad even called us Ken and Barbie. I'm just trying to give you some context because we were not dysfunctional, nor did we have some serious and obvious marital issues, but I guess what happened kind of proves otherwise. I remember when I told some of my close friends and family, everyone had the same wide-eyed look and the same "are you serious?" response. It was a total shock to me as well as everyone that knew us. She's been going to a counselor this entire time and digging into everything that happened, the whys, the hows, the whats, all of it. She has told me she doesn't know why out of all the times she's been hit on by guys, why she gave in this time. It doesn't really matter though, because what's done is done and all it takes is one time to bring a marriage crumbling down. She did say he made her feel wanted, gave her attention, and I guess validated her by telling her she was beautiful. If that's all it took, she has her own issues to deal with. And unfortunately she wasn't adult enough to really get them out or say that something was really wrong before it was too late. It's been over a year and a half and we are separated, but this is still a major roadblock for me in my life. I have chosen to walk away from her and our marriage and I struggle because this is never what I wanted. She wants to stay together and make it work, but for me the damage is too great. Over this last year and a half, I do think she has tried to do the right things to try to make it work, but with the STD involved, I just can't. With all of what happened and knowing the details, I just can't do it. For me the disrespect is too great, the humility is too much, and it was an act that was just uncalled for and was so selfish. It's sad because she knows she ruined a perfectly normal marriage and wishes she could take it back and wants a redo, but she made her choices that night. Plenty of them led her down that path. I don't think I'll ever understand how she could leave the bar with him, get in his car, drive with him, go to his house, go inside, and go into his bedroom. There are so many gates and red flashing lights and ringing bells and all of that, it's just unbelievable, but she made every one of those choices. I've tried to be aware of my pride and keep it in check, and I ask myself why I can't move forward with her. For me, it comes down to my values and beliefs, and what has happened goes against everything I believe in and stand for due to lots of cognitive dissonances. Then the whole herpes aspect that will never go away and will always be a constant reminder of what she did, and I choose to not put myself at risk of getting it mentally and emotionally. It's just too much, plus I just don't see her in the same light or view her the same way. I've lost the respect and admiration I had for her. There are a lot of layers to this onion, and it's crazy how something like this can change your entire life physically and emotionally.
Hi everyone, this is the narrator again. This is the end of main story and we have a small update on this. But before that, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the update. Final update.
Hi, thank you everyone for your kind words and supporting me earlier. Everyone was asking for what happened after I left my wife, and I thought I should share the latest news with you. The very first thing I did after leaving my wife was to get myself checked for STD, and thank God I am safe. My wife, however, is in trouble. The infection got worse even after she took the medication. She has some rashes on her face that looks really bad. She has taken few weeks off from her work because she doesn't look good with those rashes. I have informed her that I will be divorcing her for what she did. She has asked me to give her one last chance, but I have made up my mind. Anyway, I spoke to her parents and informed them about the situation and asked them to keep in touch with her to take care of her. I am currently living with a friend of mine, sharing an apartment, and we are hanging out a lot, going bars, eating out, and meeting a lot of other people. My friend made me install Tinder on my phone. I was hesitant in the beginning because the divorce is not final yet and I don't feel good about it, but it became interested after I got a few matches with some ladies. I went out on a date with this hot girl I met, and she is an architect. She has been single for a long time, mostly because she was into books and everyone thought she was a geek. She is quite fun and I am getting a strong feeling of loyalty from her, but don't want to rush to any relation for now. We went out few times, got drunk, and had intimacy. She told me that I am the second man she has been with and it's really great to find a man like me for her. I already told her that I was going through a divorce and she seems okay with it. Then I explained the whole situation about my wife's fling and how I left her after she got the infection. This news made my new girlfriend a little uncomfortable, but she seemed relieved after I told her that I got tested for STDs. She and I are planning for a little trip outside of the city. On the other hand, my wife keeps on texting me and trying to make contact with me, thinking that I would get attached to her again. I tried to ignore her, but she kept pushing for it, so I gave her the news of my new girlfriend whom I met on Tinder. This broke her and she said something like, "I thought we were going to fight this through together." Fight this through together? What the heck she is even talking about? I explained her that I was leaving her and never coming back and started the divorce, and still she was hoping for forgiveness. I spoke to her father and he asked me not to see anyone else for the time being because it will hurt his daughter. Why do they think that she is the only one who gets hurt? She didn't care about my feeling when she spent the night with that fling. Now it's my turn. I don't care much now about she, and the divorce is coming right at her face. My new girlfriend is quite mature, but she feels a little bit insecure because she spent most of her youth being single. I told her that I was never going back to my soon-to-be ex-wife and that I was looking for someone loyal like her. This is all for now. I am seeing her and the divorce is going on. My wife's parents are taking care of her while I am out here with my new partner, hoping her to be my new wife someday.
Hi guys, this is the narrator again. Thank you for listening to today's story and I hope you all have a great day ahead. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories like these. Take care, bye for now.